Hello, my name is Rick Washbrook. I'm here to tell you about Robert McAlpine. He was a teacher at Thornlea that I really adored as a teacher. He helped me and directed me on a path. I could tell at the young years that I was, 16, 17, 18, 19, those years, Robert helped me with my poetry. I did studies with him in the poetry, other classes. And I would think the whole school would know that I was a musician at a young age, and Robert knew it too. Robert had a folk club as well that I attended a few times. But the key points is, I remember Robert would notice me. It all started with the guitar. He would notice me playing, always practicing. After I did my homework in the study, I would always go into another room and I would practice my classical guitar. I would practice things. And I remember one day I was near my locker practicing. It was Thornlea High School. This is the trimester system. And it was exciting because everybody there encouraged me, and there was so much of a thick broth of talent to interplay with, interact with, and learn from in the arts, all the different disciplines, acting, music. And so Robert came up to me just out of the blue, and he said, nothing else, but he said, Richard, come with me now. And I looked up, and I had trust, and he says, grab your guitar. And he walked me down the hall, and he led me into this room, and I saw there was a projector there. And I could see there was a spool of film on it. Now, he sat me in front, and he says, now, I want you to sit here for an hour for a class, and I want you to compose music to the images. And I said, my goodness, okay. And he says, now just do what you feel, do that. So he set the projector up, and I sat there, and I did exactly what he said. I took it very serious, and I was really into it. And I composed. And the time went by, and he did come back into the room, and he said, how did it go? And I said, it was fantastic. I'm so glad you introduced me to this. I said, I feel deep inside there's a real reason why you did this, and I feel it'll blossom. But right now, when can I do it again? And he said, we'll do it again next week. I'd also see Robert in the hallways because I was working on poetry at the same time. And I'd catch him, in the hall. I'd run and find him in between classes. And I'd say, what do you think of this poem? And he'd look at it and he goes, that word you used there, I think you didn't mean to use it. But it's latent. I think it's a better word. But I don't know if you're aware of it. Look that word up. So I looked it up, and I went, my God, I went that way, not really knowing the full meaning of the word. That was shocking. And he did a lot of that for me. Sometimes would suggest other poems or meanings of words and things. But I do remember he pulled out of me a lot of latent possibilities. And that's why I tell the story. It's a true story. It was about 1975, 76, 78, 79. In those 4 years, if I remember exactly, I was 17. And it all started with the guitar. And as Robert knows, the guitar never left my side through all those years. It was a great school to express. It was a great school to be around so many other interesting people. And I got to tell you, the stuff that Robert taught us, a lot of it came from Kenneth G Mills, and many things, not to mention it all now, but a lot of the poetry that I'm reading from Robert now, it's been about 40 years. And I'm reading it and understanding it immediately. I'm catching it. I feel like it was yesterday. And I'm so blessed that Robert pulled me aside. And even I wonder if it was more of a subconscious move of him thinking about the future for me. But I do know it came from his heart. I know he did that on impulse, and I know it's from his heart. And you know what? It did 1,000 words that I can't put into one sentence that he did for me. It was wonderful. I'm here to thank Robert for that and share that story the Kenneth G Mills poetry and learning about Kenneth and what Robert's done with his poetry, learning from Kenneth, it's wonderful. And now I'm presently, 40 years later, Robert looked me up and he's asking me to do recording engineering. So I did after high school. I went to recording engineering school. And then I went through all kinds of music and just studied, traveled the world playing, and always intrigued with recording. I have always trusted in my heart from that day that I will one day get farther into writing for film, writing for that activities. I'm just here to be a part of it all. I've been messaged, and I'm returning the call. He puts an expression, Kenneth G Mills said, you have to now learn again to speak the word. And in one of our sessions last week, he mentioned that. And I feel the blossoming, just being around Robert, that I'm learning again to speak the word or to speak the music with images. Anyway, I want to thank Robert. I really had a good opportunity going to Thornlea. It was a great school. I'm blessed. Anyway, signing off, it's Richard Washbrook. I have my recording studio, do video editing, and always into the arts. Okay, thank you, Robert. Thumbs up.